Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Uh, Today we are going to be doing a little tanker view of these Ned baits. We're going to continue on from the first part. And today I've decided I'd do it a little bit different and see if maybe y'all like this version better where I show y'all the baits in the package before I go to the tank. Y'all just tell me which one y'all like better, if y'all just like it going directly from the tank and going on, or if y'all like it this way. But anyways, we done pretty good on that video, and I hope, if I never get my throat cleared out. Alright, maybe that'll help. But anyways, I hope we continue to get success and keep up with this series that we got going on, at least until we can fish anyways. Give y'all some good ideas on what baits y'all want to pick up and which ones you don't, you know. Basically it's a try it before you buy it. So anyways, first up we're going to go with the Sakoshi bug from 10,000 Fish. This is a 2.5-inch bait, and it's in coffee crawl, and this is a pretty popular bait. I mean, 10,000 Fish has been making really good bait since they've been out, really, for a while. But anyways, you got, you know, your stretchy material, what they call stretch egg plastic. And basically this thing's just going to sit up in the water and wobble around. This bait really works well for smallmouth. So if you have a good smallmouth fishery around, you might really want to give this bait a shot, because it works really well for them. So that's the one of them I'm going to show today. Now this plastic does not stretch like Z-Man. I've actually stretched some out. I don't know if it was an old batch or a new batch. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was probably an old batch, but I actually stretched it out about as far as that one and it broke. So that's something to watch for. But either way it goes, you still get very good durability out of it. It's going to last longer than your standard plastic. So don't let that scare you. I bet it was an old batch, because that one didn't break. So anyways, next up we're gonna go with the X-Zone 3.25-inch muscleback finesse. X-Zone been making really good baits. Make a lot of good baits anyways. But here's this little dude, little crawl. Be doing that one. And that one's in a watermelon red. And it has floating crawls is what it says. And then we're going to do some Z-Man boar hogs. This is a really interesting bait. I'm assuming it's supposed to resemble a, what do you call them things? I already went brain freeze, I don't know. What do you call them things? Oh, brush hogs, duh. But anyways, supposed to be, I guess, a resemblance of a boar hog, I mean a brush hog, which would be why, you know, they probably named it the boar hog. But it does have the crawl, you know, the crawl, like the pinchers of a crawl, so could be a little bit different. And here's another one I thought was really interesting. This is from Kai-Tec. This one's called the Crazy Flapper 2.8. And this is in green pumpkin spice. And this one's like a crawl slash bug looking thing. You can really see the red in the back. I really like this color right here. They did a tremendous amount of red in there, which is basically your watermelon red. They call it the green pumpkin spice or green pumpkin red, whatever you want to call it. But I thought that'd be a pretty cool one to see. Next up, we're going to do the missile baits Ned bomb. This time I'm going to get one out that actually has a straight tail on it, not one that's all crooked, but candy bomb. Next up is another real popular one for Ned baits, and that's going to be the Robo Worm Ned worm. It's 3 inches green pumpkin perch. Then you, of course, you can't do without the original Ned TRD from Z-Man. And then we'll have the Z-Man hula sticks, which is basically the same thing as the TRD, but on the end it has little tentacles that hang off, and it's a little bit longer. It's 4 inches instead of 2 3/4 inches. Then another one from an all-time favorites is the Googan Rattling Ned, which is 2 inches, right? 2 inches, 2 3/4 inches long, and it has a rattle in it, which is a little bit different from everybody else. So that could be, you know, a game changer right there to have a rattle in there. Which, you know, all plastics you can go to and add a rattle to it. So, but anyways, they did it a little bit different, which is cool. So anyways, that is the baits we will be testing today. That way, if you have any, you know, questions or anything about a bait that I tested, you'll be able to come back and look. That way I ain't got to show you the plastic in front of the tank and then do the bait. I can just take the bait out, tell you what it is, and go on. But anyways, let me know if you like this version better than the last version, or if you like the last version better where we just went straight to the tank. But anyways, let's get on over to the tank. So here we are at the tank. And first up, we are gonna have the Googan Rattling Ned. And this one ain't perfectly straight, but oh well, it'll work. So here we go, the Rattling Ned. And as you can see, it kind of just, you know, lays to its side. You can tell that the rattle's on the end because the rattle and the air pocket kind of helps it float up that rear end like that. So, yeah, all in all, I mean, you can see sometimes it's going to stand up, sometimes it won't. But all in all, it's really more lays down just flat. I'm sure with a heavier Ned head, it probably would just stand straight up, depending on what size you like to use. But all in all, that's your Rattling Ned. You know, it's going to catch fish regardless. But I like mine to be a little bit more buoyant, kind of like, you know, but either between like what the Strike King Ned Ocho, kind of the buoyancy on that one, and Z-Man. I don't like mine to lay flat down. But like I said, a heavier Ned head will make it stand up better. But anyways, there's your Googan Rattling Ned. Alright. Next up is gonna be the Z-Man Hula Stick. And the hula stick. I tell you, other than them kind of popping open whenever they hit, there's really not too much, you know, like action and split appendages on there. And, you know, far as action goes, it's pretty much going to be like your standard Ned worm. It's, you know, other than buoyancy. But, I mean, you can see the splits in there, so I imagine a fish is going to be able to see that. And, you know, with the twitches and stuff, it does flare open and then close back. All in all, good looking bait. The buoyancy, you know, is there, and you know, pretty much basically in all Z-Man products, which I do know that Z-Man products tend to sink slower than most of your standard plastics, which I do like that. That helps a little bit stay in the strike zone a little bit longer, unless you're really trying to get down in some deep water. But anyways, there's your Z-Man hula stick. Next up will be the Z-Man TRD. This will be your standard TRD. And there you are. And as you can see, you know, pretty much just stands up. But I do like whenever, you know, you give it a little twitch, you can kind of just see the vibration in there. So, you know, with every the slightest twitch that you give it, that worm is going to vibrate, which I do really like. It's more sensitive to the touch. So, you know, with the slightest movement, you're going to see it. It's going to wiggle. So you ain't got to move it very far to get it to have action. So I do like that. And of course the buoyancy. And another great thing of it is the durability, you know. You can catch 50 to 100 fish off this one worm before you ever have to change it. If that, you might be able to get it to catch longer than that. I think I've seen a thing where somebody caught like 200 fish off one worm. So that's another good thing to take into consideration. Next up, we're going to have the Z-Man Boar Hogs. And this is a little bit bigger of a bait. And I noticed on the Strike King jig head, I guess the Keitech don't seem to want to go on there very well because of the keeper. It keeps on wanting to slide up underneath that keeper. So anyways, it's on there as best as I can get it and as straight as I can get it. So anyways, you can see the boar hog. I mean, it's a neat little creature bait for sure. And of course, whenever you're retrieving it or moving it, you got those long appendages that move. They kind of flutter through the water. But it definitely stands up. It looks like a crawfish standing there. All in all, a good looking bait. I would imagine that would make a really good trailer on a chatterbait or something with them kicking legs like that. But all in all, good looking bait. So that's the Z-Man Boar Hog. Next up, we have the 10,000 fish Sakoshi bug. And you can see how it just kind of sits there and wades through the water, which is a really cool factor to it. It don't take much to catch water and move. It kind of just sits there and wades back and forth. So you can imagine, you know, if you threw that in a river or something and it catches a current, it's going to sit there and sway back and forth like it's doing right now. Kind of almost looks like a little Helger might. But once again, that's another bait that you can get that's going to have a lot of durability to it. It's going to last you a long time. And like I said, if you ever fish a river or something that's got some smallmouth in it or even spotted bass, they seem to really like it. Next up, we have the X-Zone Muscleback Finesse. And you can see it stands up pretty good with them floating crawls. Claws don't give off a tremendous amount of action, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But the buoyancy's on it's okay. It slowly falls. But yeah, all in all, not too bad of a bait. Like I said, you're not going to get a tremendous amount of action out of the claws, but you know, sometimes that's what you need. All in all, good looking bait. So that was the X-Zone Muscleback. Next up, we have the the Robo Worm, the Ned Worm. And as you can see, it's kind of like that other one, like the Googan rattling head. I will say this though, it does on the back of it have a big salt patch on it, which releases the salt, and which helps weigh it down. But Robo Worm, Ned worms have been known to catch a lot of fish, and like I said, I mean, you really can't just go off of it laying flat down. I mean, you can see there it kind of lays up, and so yeah, the tail seems to float up a little bit off the bottom, and it kind of gives like a helicopter dive down, which most of them don't, so that's kind of unique. And you can kind of see it just spins around there. I don't know if that salt has something to do with why it falls down the way it does, but it kind of goes in a circling motion. But all in all, there you go. There's the Robo Ned Worm. Next up, we have the missile bait Ned bomb. And like this time, I said I would get one out with a straight tail on it. And there you can see it pretty much stands up. And you can see that little tail that flaps and waves in the water. So that's a good looking bait. I know a lot of people have caught a lot of fish off of these things. I haven't had the chance to fish them yet. But I've talked to a lot of people that said they really work. A lot of y'all even told me they work. So I know they work. And I can see why. You got that little tail up there. It's basically paper thin. So if there's current under there, it's going to catch that tail and just kind of wiggle it around down there. But stands up good. I mean, that's a good looking bait. Definitely a good looking bait. And you can see right there, if you were just kind of doing that, it'd look like a minnow. Good deal. And then last but not least for this video is going to be the Kai-Tec Crazy Flapper. Wow, that thing looks good. Look at that fall down. Man, that thing looks good. I like that. Get all kinds of crazy action with those little legs. Well, I think why they call it the Crazy Flapper. I mean, them appendages move on the slightest movement. And I will tell you, they make these in 3 different sizes. This is the smallest size, and then they go up 2 sizes bigger, well, 2 more different sizes. I think they make, like, if I'm not mistaken, a 3 1/4 inch and a 4 1/4 inch. So just an idea, if you wanted to get some bigger ones you could, but this right here is a perfect size for a Ned head. And you can see that crazy action. I mean, that one right there probably got the best action of them all. Keitech's known to make some good baits, so. So anyways, y'all, there is the tanker review of all the baits. We have one more video to go through for this session of the Ned baits, and then we're going to move on to something else. I hope y'all are enjoying these videos, and let me know what y'all thought about the video. Which bait was your favorite? I gotta say, mine, as far as action wise goes, has got to be that Kai-Tec Crazy Flapper. But anyways, till next time, keep on fishing, y'all.